There are people in the world who can be an inspiration and example to others by doing absolutely incredible things in a different way. Incredible and unbelievable things seem to happen in pretty much everyone's life. Those situations where by chance it suddenly becomes possible to set amazing personal records or complete nearly impossible human feats, showing how sometimes the things that seem totally impossible become entirely possible. So, who are these people who've achieved the impossible? Guess you'll have to watch to find out. Ready to be surprised? Whoa! Well then, let's get it on. Blindfolded slackline. Slacklining is without question one of the most dangerous and extreme sports the world has to offer. Walking unattached on a line just a few feet off the ground is enough to give most people a serious case of vertigo, not to mention the people deep in the culture who slackline across gorges and canyons thousands of feet above the ground. But some people take it even further beyond, as if it weren't already crazy enough, and actually try to slackline blindfolded.
No. No.
Signoret, a French daredevil, undertook this absurd challenge in China in 2018, slacklining across 2 mountains almost half a kilometer without the assistance of his visual center at all. The French adrenaline lover somehow didn't make a single misstep on his 25-minute-long trek in the sky, finally crossing the finish line with one more world record than he had set off with. Truly an accomplishment of unmatched heights. Fastest skateboard speed. People of all ages love skateboarding, but some aren't satisfied with simple ollies and kickflips and need to push the sport to new extremes and carve their names into the books of skateboarding history. Of course, there are physical limitations on how fast the wheels of a board can carry a person, but as more and more skilled skaters step up to the halfpipe, the outer edges of possibility get pushed further and further. Kyle Wester is one of those incredible people, pushed by nothing more than the desire to be the best that skating has to offer, and push the sport to impossible extremes. In 2016, the skateboarder set out to claim the world record for the highest speed ever achieved on a skateboard. Kyle was able to pick up enough speed to completely destroy the world record, reaching a peak speed of 89.41 miles per hour with nothing more than his body and his skateboard. Still, the daredevil managed to do the impossible and prove to the world that limits were made to be broken. Insane snowboard jump. Snowboarding is one of the best winter activities around, particularly if you're a thrill seeker. While many only snowboard for fun when winter rolls around, some, like Christian Haller, seek to master the skill in a way that's never been done before. After some serious planning, training, and mentally preparing, in June of 2016 at the Perfect Hip public snowboarding contest in Italy, Christian proved to the world that his name belongs among the snowboarding elite. Christian peaked at an unbelievable 37 feet above not just the ground, but the ramp itself, showing that with enough dedication, maybe it's not so impossible for people to fly. Impossible basketball shot. YouTube has become the home for some absolutely insane stunts and feats, with each new unbelievable act seemingly being topped within no time at all by more and more daring tricksters. And when it comes to basketball trick shots, few groups are more astounding than how ridiculous. In a longtime friendly competition for the world record of highest basketball shot ever made, the group and their good friends and rivals Dude Perfect faced off for years, each literally topping the other in back and forth shots that are more and more amazing. However, in 2016, the How Ridiculous team had their hearts set on crushing the previous 162-meter high record held by Dude Perfect and set out to sink a shot from the top of a mega dam in Switzerland, a whopping 180 meters or 590.5 feet high. The Australian team planned to be out there at least 5 days before making the shot, which is still a pretty liberal estimate in my eyes, but astoundingly, through some impossible luck, they managed to make the insane 590-foot shot on only their 3rd throw. They made the impossible as easy as 1, 2, 3. Narrow escape wingsuit. Wingsuiting is the closest humans have come to flying so far. This extreme activity requires extensive training and immense bravery. that being said, for Yuli Emmanuel, the danger wingsuiting alone provided just didn't seem to be enough. On one trip to the Alps in Switzerland, Yuli noticed a narrow hole in a rock formation high above the valleys below. For the next 3 years, Yuli trained and prepared to try to do what everyone told him was impossible: glide right through the center of that insanely narrow gap in the rocks.
My question is, what the hell?
Whatever the preparation was, it seemed to do just the trick. He absolutely nailed it, leaving the world with this absolutely breathtaking footage of his unbelievable aerial acrobatic skills. Slicing a bullet. Many people work their entire lives to accomplish something incredible, and with the right combination of determination and talent, actually end up in the Guinness Book of World Records. Isao Machi is one of these incredible people. Spending his entire life training with a samurai sword, the Japanese man may be the greatest swordsman alive today. With a series of world records under his belt, including most tatami mats cut in under 3 minutes, and being able to slice a tennis ball flying at 161 kilometers per hour in midair, there aren't exactly many contenders even able to come close to his level. But what must be his most incredible accomplishment has to be the time he cut an airsoft bullet in half in midair. Still, the lifetime of training and dedication worked out, and Isao Machi was able to prove that slicing bullets in midair isn't only possible in the movies. Longest time in ice. Humans are pretty resilient creatures. Give us enough time and we'll make it in almost any environment. Still, there are obviously limits to what humans can survive, and when it comes to extremes of temperature, the human body simply can't function at super cold temperatures. It's impossible. Wait a second, did you really think I was going to say that? Of course not. Not when the incredible Iceman Wim Hof exists. This insanely driven man is without question one of the most daring and extreme individuals ever to have lived, currently being the holder of 26 different world records. One of Wim's most unbelievable talents is his ability to control his internal body temperature. The superhuman daredevil holds the longest record by far for spending time in the ice, sitting comfortably in it for 1 hour and 52 minutes. Through years of yoga and meditation, Wim Hof has pushed his body to do the impossible. So, if he can do that, there's no telling what amazing things you could do. Drowned alive. The world-famous street magician David Blaine has made a name for himself with his absurd and death-defying stunts. Blaine's been buried alive in sand, frozen solid in a block of ice, and hung in a box in the sky without any food for 44 days. But in 2006, the illusionist tried not only to top himself, but the rest of the world by breaking the Guinness World Record for the longest time holding his breath underwater. Blaine spent a full 7 days underwater in a glass aquarium with air being fed to him through a tube.
7 astonishing days where David Blaine has been living in a spectacular 8-foot human aquarium.
However, on the 8th day, needing to hold his breath for a solid 8 minutes and 59 seconds, the magician had to be pulled out about 2 minutes early.
Go!
The divers are in.
Just relax, relax. We got you, David.
Never one to take defeat though. He spent the next 2 years training, and in 2008 came back and not just broke the record, but absolutely demolished it. What had previously been thought of as the absolute limit for the world record, about 9 minutes, was blown past by Blaine, and the illusionist managed to hold his breath for a breathtaking 17 minutes and 4 seconds. It really goes to show that with enough determination, anything is possible. Or maybe at least for David Blaine. Highest wave jump. Surfing is quite a difficult discipline to master on its own. Given enough difficulty, eventually you'll reach a level of surfing that it might seem like no one can pull off. And that's exactly the spot where only Sebastian Steudtner fits in. During a competition in Nazaré, a perfect surfing spot in Portugal, Sebastian managed to ride one of the biggest waves the world has ever seen. While numbers on how big the wave was aren't exact, estimates showed this wave being about 71 feet high.
Oh, hell no!
To give you some perspective on how incredible managing to ride this wave is, if Sebastian had made one wrong move, the force of over 1.4 million kilograms of water would have absolutely crushed him. Managing to perfectly ride through it was without a doubt one of the most incredible feats the world of surfing has ever seen. Highest free solo climb. It's hard to imagine a more extreme individual than Alex Honnold, because some of the feats this American climber has accomplished should be completely impossible. Honnold is what's known in the world of mountain climbing as a free solo climber, meaning he climbs mountains with no safety equipment or harness, just his own hands, feet, and nerves of unbreakable steel. One of the most impressive of the many records Honnold holds, likely due in part to there not being many people insane enough to even attempt to top him, is for free soloing El Capitan in California, the largest granite monolith in the world. On June 3, 2017, Honnold became the first person to ever free climb the 7,500-foot mountain. Honnold climbed the behemoth stone mountain totally unassisted. Talk about upper body strength. It'll probably be a long time before anyone daring enough tries to take on this record, but until then, Honnold proudly holds what most would have thought to be an impossible world record. Psst, hey, you still there? Well, since you made it this far, here are all the shoutouts we promised everyone that commented on our previous video. If you want to be shouted out in our next upcoming video as well as the ones prior, just make sure you're subscribed to the channel and leave a comment down below saying, "Pick me." Once you're at it, you might as well leave a like too. Did any of these seemingly superhuman acts surprise you? Would you be daring enough to do the impossible? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.